apple every day, then I'd be okay. But I did that and I'm still left empty. I said, if God can't answer my prayers, if God can't answer this question, who can? What's the point of life? See, I was at about the age of 17, I was really asking, seeking for my purpose, to no avail. Couldn't find it. Until I realized I was looking for my purpose in the wrong things. I was starting out in the wrong things. I started out with myself, okay? What's my purpose? I thought I could design my purpose or figure it out. When we talk about life, we're talking about purpose. We can't talk about life without touching on purpose. Because what's the point of life if there's no purpose? And all of us have that desire to know why we exist. And I love this phrase, and you can tell I watch movies a lot. Last week I talked about Gandalf and the Lord of the Rings. This time, you remember Braveheart? How many of you love this movie? I love this movie. I've seen it so many times. So this is a man's movie right there. It's a man's movie. And here's one thing he said. All men die, but not all men really live. All men die, but not all men really live. Isn't that a pathetic life if you exist, but you don't really live? Like, what are you going to do today? I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. I'm bored. Your language is always, I'm bored. Believe me, you're not really living. If you say, I'm bored, you're missing out on the abundant life that is supposed to be yours, that can be yours. All men die, but not all men really live. It's interesting that somebody once said, the greatest tragedy in life is not death. Death is such a tragic thing when we experience it, especially when a loved one dies. But the greatest tragedy in life is not death, but it is a life with no purpose. That's the greatest tragedy. You came to this earth with fullest potential and did nothing. You realize everybody has the potential to be the best, but they end up watching others become the best. They're just spectators. They watch someone like Michael Jordan do those things, and they can only imagine themselves like Michael Jordan, with tongues wagging. When he makes a shot. Don't be like Michael Jordan, You can be the best whom God called you to be. Don't sit in the sidelines just watching somebody else become great. You have that potential. God did not create you in this world so that you can just stand in the corner and wait till you die. Do you believe that's your life? I don't believe that's my life. That's how it's supposed to be, but that's how my life is. Well, then you gotta get to know God's purpose for your life. And each of us has one life to live. How do we live it? How do we live that dash? How do you want to live your dash? Okay? In Psalm 90, verse 10, we see here, this is a psalm written by Moses. And it says there, our days may come to 70 years, or 80 if our strength endures. Yet the best of them are but trouble and sorrow, for they quickly pass and we fly. He was looking at the life, from a natural perspective in this verse. Our days may come to 70 years or even 80. And most of it are trouble, filled with trouble and sorrow. And how many of you could agree with that? Can anybody here say that life is all dandy, great, and awesome? Oh, every day is such a great thing. Can anybody really say that in all honesty? We all have to share this. Because you know why? We live in a fallen world. We live in a world that has rebelled against the order of God. We live in a world where people make their own rules. People make their own beliefs. And people say that, okay, that's okay with you, that's okay with me, even if we're different. It all leads to the same thing. Whoever said that everything leads to the same thing? Okay, that's why God, I mean, there's only one God. People say, no, there are many. Okay. So, God has the audacity to say that there's only one. Either He's lying, or He's telling the truth. In my experience, He is telling the truth. Because He has entered my life. He lives in me. He's changed my life. Our days, they come to 70 years, most of them are about trouble. Because of the fallen nature of this world, even if we don't cause trouble, people cause us trouble. People cause us heartache and pain. People do things we don't expect and it hurts us. And then sometimes because of our surroundings, it affects the way we think. And we, after a few years, given time, you're going to become like one of those who are affecting you. But you see, you're not just a product of you're not merely a product of your environment. Many of our struggles is because of the one problem in the world. It's called sin. It's called sin. Sin has mired the lives of humanity, the lives of human beings. It has messed up the way we think, the way we should live. It messed up our relationships with God and with others. And see, if we only have one life to live and we're messed up, how can we? What's the hope for us? Is there hope for us? Let me tell you, there is. Verse 12 says, teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Moses was asking God, we're filled with these troubles.